Hey guys, today we're asking the question, the person on your mind, what have they realized about you? This is meant to be a love reading. So we have 3 piles to choose from. We have pile number 1 with Listen and the Black Tourmaline, pile number 2 with Liberty and the Desert Rose, pile number 3 with Eva and with the Howlite. Okay, so if you guys are new to pick a card readings, basically you want to kind of, I would recommend meditating, but after meditating, kind of pick whichever pile you're most drawn to, or whichever pile is capturing your attention, or whichever crystal is capturing your attention, and then go to the description box or comment section below and click on the timestamp next to whichever pile you guys chose, okay? And it will kind of take you to your reading. But I will see you guys at your reading. Bye, y'all. Hey y'all, pile number 1, this is your reading, and today we're asking the question, the person on your mind, what have they realized about you? Okay, this is meant to be a love reading, okay? So you have Listen, and then you have the Forest, you have Loss. Let's move these down a little bit. And you have the 10 of Swords. Okay. So the 10 of Swords in reverse, actually. And you have the King of Cups in reverse. You have the 10 of Wands. Okay. You have the Devil. And you have the Tower. Ooh, intense cards, guys, intense cards. And then you have Knowledgeable and you have Witty. Okay, so let's see what is going on for you guys. Okay guys, so what I'm seeing here is that the person on your mind has had some pretty intense realizations about you. It's like something major shifted in how they see you, or like some of the things that they're realizing about you. So let's start with the 10 of Swords in reverse, and you have like the 10 of Wands right next to it. This shows me that I feel like they now understand that you've been through a lot of emotional stuff in your life. Okay, maybe they didn't fully see it before or understand it before, but now they're realizing just how strong of a person you are and just how strong that you guys have been throughout all of this, and just how strong you've been to carry everything that you've carried and all the stuff that you've gone through in your life. There is a sense that they realize that you've hit your lowest point before, and instead of staying there, you guys were like, you know, you basically got back up, and they're just realizing how strong you are. I'm also seeing that they're kind of connecting the dots and realizing that maybe their actions, or maybe even like the relationship dynamic between the both of you, might have contributed to some of your pain. Okay, so they're realizing that they might have caused some hurt for you, and just the relationship dynamics, or maybe their actions, have caused some type of hurt for you. Okay, I'm seeing with the Devil card right here, and you know, especially next to the Tower, that they feel like maybe this was triggered by some type of toxic pattern, some type of obsession or control on their part. You know, they're seeing that there might have been some control issues in this. There might have been some control issues, or some type of toxic pattern, or some type of obsession that kind of became impossible for them to ignore. And I feel like it might have been coming from their side, is what I'm getting. So basically, whether this toxic pattern was like jealousy, codependency, or maybe fear, or maybe control issues, some type of toxic pattern, you know, they realize that was happening, and there is like this collapse here. So for example, what I mean by that is this Tower card. If you can see that, like, the both of you are like crying, you know. It's like it's weird that you guys are upside down, but there's like a tear falling down. So things were kind of basically upside down for you guys, and there was a lot of hurt involved is what they're realizing. And but with this card, I am seeing that they're no, like, the person on your mind is no longer seeing things through like a rose-colored glasses, and they feel like the mask is off. They realize that you guys are not someone who can be controlled, who can be confined. They realize you're not someone who can be manipulated. And if they ever tried that with you guys, they now realize how wrong that was. And they again realize that they might have hurt you and their actions might have hurt you. I'm also getting with the King of Cups reversed here that that they might emotionally be a little bit unsteady or be a little bit emotionally immature, not mature, because we're seeing like the opposite of the King of Cups here since it's in reverse. So they might be a little bit emotionally unsteady, emotionally immature. I think the person on your mind is realizing that they might not have been as emotionally available or as emotionally mature as you. They feel like they might not have been as emotionally, you know, again, available or emotionally mature as you needed them to be. So basically they're realizing they kind of effed up. They're realizing they effed up, you know, they could have been better. There may have been moments where they felt like they suppressed how they, you know, where they suppressed how they felt, or they struggled to kind of express how they felt. They struggled to meet you emotionally at the same place you were. And now they're regretting it. Okay, so I'm getting regret. I'm also getting, guys, with the listen card here, and you know, we have the word knowledgeable here, that I feel like you guys were good to them. Like you guys listened to them. If they said there's something they didn't like, or if they said there was something wrong, you know, you listened and you understood and you try to fix, you know, whatever they were saying. But I feel like they didn't listen to you is how they're feeling, or what they're realizing. And I'm also seeing that they realize that you're someone very wise, you're knowledgeable, right? You guys are intuitive, you guys are deeply aware and mature. So they are realizing that. And I also think they're realizing that some of you guys maybe gave them a little too much. You know, maybe they didn't deserve it. Some of you guys might have given them a lot, and they're now realizing how emotionally intelligent you are and how you were always listening. You're a good listener and you were good to them. With the word witty, I'm getting that they also kind of like the way you think. You know, like they think you're smart. They like how you think. They think you're, you know a lot. You're knowledgeable. They also like the way they like your spark. They like your energy. They feel like you've got like this cleverness to you that maybe they kind of took advantage of, or maybe underestimated in the beginning, but now they're realizing, no, like, you know, he or she is like a lot smarter, a lot more knowledgeable, a lot more clever, and, you know, intelligent than I initially thought. So they feel like they might have underestimated you at first, but they kind of regret that because now they see it. They also, yeah, like I feel like you stand out to them. With the Lost card here, guys, it's possible that maybe whether you guys are in separation from this person that's on your mind, or maybe just emotionally distant, they are feeling your absence, okay? It's not just about them missing you, but it's them finally like realizing what they had and how they could have been better. And I feel like that realization is hitting them pretty hard. I'm also getting with the Forest card here that, you know, the Forest card is all about mystery, depth, and self-discovery. So I feel like because of, you know, you and this person that's on your mind, they've kind of been forced to kind of look within, okay? Like to look deep within and, you know, where they went wrong, or like what they can do to be better. And they're definitely seeing your value now. You know, looking back, I feel like they're seeing your value and they're realizing their own patterns and things that they need to fix. So, yeah, but they do feel like you were an amazing presence in their life, and someone they feel kind of pulled towards, but they also know that they can't approach you the way they were initially, okay? So they can't approach you lightly anymore. And I'm also, yeah, like basically, you know, they're realizing that you're very strong, that you're very intelligent, you're intuitive, you're emotionally deep, you know, and you guys are unafraid to walk away when you've had enough is what they're realizing. They've also kind of realized that the way they treated you wasn't fair. I think they weren't fully conscious, you know. They're now realizing it. Like I feel like they're kind of going through their own spiritual, you know, awakening right now. Like they're being forced to look within. And the weight of everything that happened, or like how they treated you, is kind of sinking in for them. So whether they come forward or not, I feel like you guys have definitely left some type of permanent mark on this person, a impression on this person, and that's just kind of making them question themselves, you know, like they're kind of like, I need to be better, is basically what they're kind of realizing about you and all of this, okay? If any of this resonated, guys, leave me a comment below because I'm curious who this person is. And I do read all of my comments, so please tell me if this resonated. And I will see you guys next week. Bye, y'all. Hey, y'all. Pile number 2. This is your reading. And today we're asking the question, what has a person on your mind realized about you? Okay, so what has this person realized about you? We're gonna get super detailed up in her. So we have the Temple, we have Influence. Okay, so let's do that. We have the Three of Swords. Okay, Three of Swords, and then we have the King of Cups in reverse. We have the Devil in reverse. We have the Five of Wands, and we have the Ten of Wands. And then we have open-minded and guarded, or has their guard up. Okay, I'm just gonna fix these cards. So guys, the person on your mind has been doing some serious reflecting, okay? Not just about you, but about themselves in relation to you. So the first thing is the Three of Swords. The fact that that's the first tarot card that came out for, you know, your situation and like the person on your mind, I feel like, you know, yeah, it speaks volume that this was the first card that came out. I feel like this person realizes that they have hurt you, or at the very least that you carry some type of deep emotional wound, and they may not have fully understood this before, but now they see it. So they see that you guys may have experienced betrayal or emotional pain, and whether they were the cause of this betrayal or emotional pain or not, they know that it shaped you and it deeply hurt you. So they definitely see this emotional pain and this emotional wound. They acknowledge that. You know, the fact that also the King of Cups here is in reverse is showing me that they now realize that you've had to go through a lot of emotional consistency. That's either emotional consistency from them or maybe like some past relationship that you were in, but they see you as someone who deserves like emotional security but hasn't always received it. So they feel like they see and feel that you deserve better. Okay, so they think you deserve better, and I'm not sure if the person on your mind is the one that caused this heartache, you know, and they're realizing they screwed up, or if they're aware that you've been through a lot of heartache and that you carry these deep emotional wounds due to something you've been through in the past. They're also aware of some emotional barriers, like for example, the Devil is reversed here, so they're realizing how strong you are for like breaking free of any toxic dynamics or any emotional dependency, whether this was you walking away from this person that's on your mind or you simply just setting boundaries. They kind of understand that you are not the type of person who's going to be trapped in, you know, these cycles. You're not the type of person that will like stay trapped in relationships that are causing you pain, they know that you will cut someone off, and they really respect you for that. So they definitely see that you have boundaries, and that, you know, you're not going to stay around if someone's causing you pain. I'm also getting, guys, from the Five of Wands right here, and then we also have the Ten of Wands like right next to it. So double wands going on here. This does show some internal struggle or some type of emotional exhaustion, like feeling burdened, feeling just exhausted. They realize that you're someone who like fights really hard, not only in your relationships, but for what you believe in. And I feel like they see how weighed down you've been. You know, they see how burdened you feel, like emotionally, mentally, maybe even spiritually. They see that you guys are going through stuff, and they're realizing that you carry a lot more burden than most people even notice. And maybe this person is realizing that, you know, now, like realizing now how much stuff you were going through and how much burden you were carrying. Maybe they didn't see this in the past, if this person on your mind is someone that you've kind of walked away from, okay? Another thing that I am getting with this guarded card, where it says guarded or has their guard up, especially with, you know, it being like open-minded or like, you know, next to open-minded, I feel like they're realizing that you're someone who has learned to protect themselves, and someone that does have their guard up a little bit to protect themselves from getting hurt. You're not as open or available as you might have once been, and that's because you are kind of, you know, you have your guard up. You appear a little bit more cold to them, and I think it's because you've learned to kind of protect your heart and shield your heart. So, you know, it's weird that this is right like next to open-minded, because, you know, at the same time, this person on your mind is also seeing you as being open-minded, meaning that they know you're not closed off to love entirely. You've just become more selective and more discerning and more picky. Because you're not going to put up with any BS, you know? So they realize that about you. And I feel like they realize that you have the emotional intelligence and the emotional like range to see all sides of a situation, even when you've been hurt. So basically they look at you as very mature. You know, you guys are very emotionally intelligent. And another thing is with the temple right here, and actually, you know, I've had this deck like for many years now, and I think maybe 5 or 6 years now, but this is the first time I've ever pulled the temple. So, and I've used this deck like a million times, so I was so excited when I saw that. But anyways, this card tells me that they see you as someone who's very spiritually and emotionally grounded, and maybe even healing. It's like you guys are going through the healing work, and they see that. They realize that you're someone very special. There's something very special about you and the way that you love that they haven't experienced in the past. They're beginning to understand that, you know, this wasn't just a casual connection between you and the person on your mind, and that you're someone who's not just a casual fling or like a casual person, and that you are someone that has a lot of depth to them, a lot of maturity, and you have good intentions and a spiritual light about you. Okay, so you're not just like you're not just like basic casual whatever. Like you're someone who's basically I want to say wifey, you know, or like hubby if you're, you know, like they know that you're special, and yeah, they can't just have like a casual fling with you. Like this is deeper than that. With the Liberty card here, guys, they see how important freedom and being autonomous is to you, and this can even be like emotional freedom, emotional autonomy. But they realize how freedom and emotional autonomy, like how important that is to you. You're not someone that's gonna settle for a relationship that like puts you in a cage, you know? Like, do you see how? Whoops, sorry guys. Do you see how like she is like letting this bird free from the cage, right? And look at her hair too. It's like flying free in the sky, like floating in the sky, you know, like it's like her hair is free to float, you know, and fly away as well. But yeah, so they're realizing you're not someone that they can just kind of like control and keep in a cage, and you're not going to settle for a relationship that cages you, imprisons you. You guys definitely value freedom, and they've realized that if they ever made you feel stuck or feel imprisoned, like, it was a huge mistake. So they're realizing that, because they realize that you would like to be emotionally free, and that they do respect you. So I think they're kind of coming into terms with that. Another thing that I'm getting, guys, with the influence card, especially when you see like Adam and Eve on this card right here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but like Adam and Eve. And there's also a serpent here. They are realizing that they were kind of tempted by their own ego in the past, and they kind of screwed up by having like past patterns, their ego. I think they even had some external distractions, like some things that were distracting them externally, like work or maybe friends or something else, could be like their own thoughts or whatever. But they are realizing that they kind of screwed up, and they're kind of blaming their ego or their like toxic patterns maybe, or like some type of external distractions for this. And they're also realizing that you weren't someone who could be controlled again and who could be manipulated. So you guys have like a strong moral and emotional compass is what they're realizing. And that, I feel like you definitely influence them, like you carry some type of influence that has made an impression on them. So you guys have basically definitely made an impact on pile number, or the person on your mind, okay? Pile number 2, I'm definitely seeing that. So basically, guys, just to recap, like what I'm getting here is that they're realizing that you guys are strong, spiritual, intuitive, emotionally deep. You're someone who loves very deeply and fully, but you do have your guard up, which they feel like you're wise for. You're not going to just give your heart away recklessly. They understand now that if they want to be close to you again, like, it will take effort, it will take honesty, it will take healing on their part. They also see that you guys are kind of healing as well. So they're carrying like a mix of, basically some of the realizations, guys, is they're carrying like a mix of guilt, admiration, and like longing, like they do miss you, and but their energy feels like conflicted. But yeah, they do realize though that you're not someone that they can forget, and you're not someone that they can approach lightly anymore. They're gonna kind of have to like level up if they want to like come back with you, or if you're already with this person, they know they're gonna have to level up, is what I'm getting. Wow. Okay, so guys, let me know, pile 2, did any of this resonate? And if it did, please leave me a comment below. I want to know like what the situation is. Who is this person? Did it resonate or not? And I will see you guys next week. Bye, y'all. Hey y'all, pile number 3, this is your reading, and you guys chose the Howlite and Eva. We're asking the question, the person on your mind, what have they realized about you? Okay, so we're gonna be getting super detailed up in her. You guys have the Shaman, and you guys have romance, okay, and you guys have, let's see, let's do it this way. You guys have the 3 of Wands. Is that fitting in the frame? Yeah. Okay, so you guys have the 3 of Wands, the 6 of Swords. You have the 10 of Swords. Okay. You have the King of Cups. You guys have a 5 of Cups. And you have Curious Explorer and a Great Storyteller. Okay, let me just fix these. Okay, guys, so the person on your mind, some of the realizations they've had about you is that they see you as someone unique and as someone who has made an impact on them or some type of major impression on them. So you're not just someone they had feelings for, but you're someone that they can't really forget. I'm getting here, guys, with especially the 3 of Wands, that you are someone who, yeah, basically one of the realizations I had with the Three of Wands is that, you know, they kind of now understand how forward thinking and amazing your energy is. They realize that you guys dream big. You're not afraid to look beyond the horizon. You guys are like a visionary. Reach for the stars. You also inspire them to want more out of life and love. I feel like before they met you, they were just kind of like meh, but now like you've kind of opened their brain up a little bit, you know, and like inspired them more to kind of want more out of life, not just the basic stuff, you know. You're someone that they find very exciting. You're someone with like a vision is how they kind of view you, you know. They know you have a vision, someone who's going places, someone who's going to be successful if you aren't already successful, and they really admire that about you. With the Six of Swords here, I'm getting that they feel like they've kind of come to a realization just how much emotional growth that you guys have already done. They recognize that you've moved through a lot of past difficulties with grace, so they look at you as someone very strong. And I feel like they look at you as someone very attractive as well, is what I'm getting, especially with Eva, but we'll get to that soon. But yeah, they kind of realize that you guys have moved through a lot of past difficulties with a lot of grace, that you know, handle things really well. If there was any distance between you and the person on your mind, like whether that's physical distance or emotional distance, they now see it as something that kind of helped them see your true worth, you know, so they are seeing your worth. And they also are realizing that you guys radiate a lot of calm and peace, and that has made them feel better and kind of feel more calm and feel more peaceful as well. So they see you as someone very peaceful and very calm. Another thing that they are realizing is, especially with the Ten of Swords right here, is that they have had a realization about how they might have hurt you. Like there is a sense of like regret here. They now understand that they may have taken you for granted, or maybe not appreciated you enough, or not appreciated how deeply you felt things, you know, like emotionally. With the King of Cups here, I feel like they see you guys as someone emotionally mature, compassionate, stable. Even when things get really intense, they feel like you handle it well and that you are emotionally stable and calm. And they kind of realize that they see you as someone who doesn't just love very deeply, but you guys are very wise, so you know what you're doing. You're not just like blindly going into things. They see you as someone nurturing and not naive. They realize that you guys have emotional boundaries and you're, you know, very like sure of them. But with the Five of Cups, guys, they realize that they lost something really special. So there's sadness, there's guilt, there's maybe even some shame on their part. They're finally acknowledging like the emotional aftermath of like, you know, losing someone like you, or if they haven't lost you, like they're realizing how they've hurt you. You have touched them more deeply than they expected, and I feel like that is sinking in for them. Like that's a realization they're having about you, that they, yeah, like they felt more deeply about you than they realized, you know, and now they're having that realization. So there's some regret here. And from Eva, this oracle card right here, they're seeing you as someone very tempting, very attractive, wise. They see you as someone very sweet and someone who's not easily fooled, so you guys can see right through their BS or anyone's BS. They see you as someone enchanting, you know, kind of mysterious too. You're exciting to them. They see you as someone who draws people in and are very exciting. They also see you guys as someone who's kind of hard to read. Again, like a little bit mysterious, a little bit hard to read. They sometimes get confused regarding what your true intentions are, because I guess you're kind of hard to read, so they would struggle with like, okay, what are your true intentions, or like what are you truly feeling about something. I feel like they would kind of struggle knowing that about you because there's like a mysteriousness to you. So they kind of feel like you're hard to read. with the romance card, guys, this is very telling. No matter what happened between you and this person on your mind, they do associate you with like real heartfelt love and romance. You definitely brought like this romantic energy, and that was genuine. So they genuinely felt it, you know. Yeah, but so there was something between you and this person. So they are realizing there was something there that was genuine. It wasn't just a fling, it wasn't just casual, it wasn't superficial. And with the shaman card here, I feel like you guys did awaken something spiritual or transformative within them. Like they have felt a change, you know, within them since knowing you or since realizing all of these things about you. They're starting to see you as someone who is connected to something deeper, like something spiritual, and you guys, you know, maybe even cause some type of awakening in them. This feels like very spiritual with the shaman, and they feel like your presence was healing, was calm, and very peaceful is how they're kind of feeling about you and what they're realizing about you. So they felt like your presence was healing. Also, guys, with the great storyteller here, I mean, they do feel like you guys are a great storyteller. Maybe they're realizing that they love it when you kind of, you know, tell them about like what happened today or like certain stories or whatever you've been through in your life or in the past. They are seeing you as someone who's very curious and someone who might even like traveling. They feel like you're a very curious person. You're always learning, you're always seeking, you're always growing, you guys are always expanding. So you kind of brought an energy of like excitement and like wonder into their life that they haven't really had before or with anyone else before. And they didn't know they were even missing that, you know, but like when they met you, they were like, oh crap, like this is different. So they are realizing all of those things. But basically, guys, from all of these cards, the main gist I'm getting here is that they see you as someone special. They see you as someone rare. They see you as someone who is beautiful, someone who is wise, someone who is powerful because you've kind of triggered some type of transformation within them. Maybe even like some type of spiritual awakening, some type of spiritual transformation with the shaman. I don't know why I said transformation, but I wonder if that has anything to do with it, because we are seeing like, we're seeing boats, we're seeing water. So I wonder if this person is at like a distance from you guys. Like, is this a long distance thing going on, or did someone move away from each other? This could just be, again, like physical and emotional distance as well, like we said before. But yeah, I'm noticing that like all the water and like boats, it's like you guys might have to travel to see each other or something like that. It's like you guys are far apart. But yeah, like they're realizing that you were someone who offered real love and depth, you know, like it wasn't just a little, you know, man, this is another casual, boring relationship. No, that's not how they felt here. They're realizing there's something a lot deeper here. And guys, let me know if this resonated. Like pile 3, if you pick this pile, leave me a comment below. I read all my comments. I'm very, very curious if this resonated. And let me know who this person is. And do you guys live at a distance or something? Because there's like a lot of water, boats here. This person's looking through like, you know, like looking through like, I don't know, binocs or telescope, whatever you call that. So it's like they're looking at you from afar. But yeah, guys, let me know, okay? Take care. See you next week. Bye, y'all.